Hello guys, this is Glenn from Sydney CBD Repair Center, and today we have a gaming smartphone that needs a screen replacement. This is your Asus ROG 3. ROG stands for Republic of Gamers. So let's game. So right off the bat, this Asus ROG Phone 3 is kind of a complicated fix for us because it's got a lot of heavy-duty components that are designed for gamers and gaming in general. So what do we mean by that? That means there's a lot of components that are cooled. As you can see later on when we remove this back cover. This is kind of the first step on most smartphones nowadays. So when we remove it, there's no cables attached to the back cover. And you can see on the right side of the device, that's the cooling fin for the CPU, because the processor for gaming, and which is the CPU and GPU or the SoC, is right there with the thermal paste. And we will be removing the shroud for the motherboard, which is one piece with a very flimsy side cover, side connector. And then we'll remove everything that is connected to the motherboard, which is also one piece. You can see that it will be an inverted letter C, I guess, that will be surrounding the battery in the middle. So first we're going to remove some of the miscellaneous components like the camera and the vibration motor. As you can see there's also copper heat sinks for the CPU and the GPU, which is kind of nice. I will compare this to a gaming computer. So this is a smartphone that is like your gaming computer. So unlike other flagships from Samsung, this has a lot of unique designs to it. So we're gonna show you the connectors for this is way too many, more than the average smartphone. So we're going to remove all the grommets, SIM card trays, and other connectors that we may have forgotten. And then as we remove the motherboard, we will start from the left side here and then lift it up slowly. Make sure there's no more connectors connecting to it, and then lift it up. And you should not be doing this on your own, I guess, because if you want to DIY this kind of repairs on this complex architecture or design of a smartphone, then you will be having a hard time reassembling the whole thing. So if you have a problem with your Asus ROG phones, maybe that you can just approach a professional service center with good track record for repairing these kind of models, because when you compare this to your Samsung Galaxy Notes and Apple products, this is kind of way more complex. So you remove the front display now and then clean it up. There's no need for us to remove the battery from the main frame, because in the middle there's also the battery is adhered to the middle frame. We don't have to remove it, just to preserve the adhesives that are attaching the battery to the frame. We'll just clean it up. Make sure that the connectors for the battery are sealed, protected. And then all the parts that we have removed, we're gonna install them back here. The speaker screen, speaker grill, and then we'll put a liquid glue to adhere the new replacement display to the frame. So this is kind of, we're on the way in the middle, I guess, of the repair process. We're going to attach the replacement display here. As you can see, the front camera is already removed. You have to make sure that the glass underneath that is clean before we install the front camera. And then we're back to the complex reassembly process. As you can see, the motherboard has some thin sides, thin parts of the board, so you should have proper experience and tools to reinstall this one, because you can bend it even just bending it can damage some components or capacitors. And then you have to reconnect all the connectors so that we can align this SIM card tray and the rubber grommets at the side. So you can see here that the components here are not really that modular, but when you want to replace something, it can be replaced, but just make sure that it's cost effective for you, because if you damage like the main board or the motherboard, then it's gonna be too costly, not worth it for repair. You're just basically buying a new smartphone at that point. We install the front camera, some components, screws. So this is the shroud that we have removed, and then the cooling fins. This is a block of aluminum to dissipate the heat, which is good if you're gaming for extensive hours. So if you have a Asus ROG 3, ROG 5, or other ROG smartphones that needs a new screen or needs a new battery, don't hesitate to message Sydney CBD Repair Center, and David here can make magic. Just resurrect your dead Asus ROG phone from the dead. And you also get this free tempered glass. I just leave it how David does it to all the smartphones here. Swipe down and it's done. So we're just gonna test it. Buttons, cameras, charging. It's now charging, and we're gonna shut it down to perform the last steps. These rubber bands are just for curing the glue. It's not really permanent, so don't be alarmed. So once again, guys, if you have some problems with your smartphones, even if it's an iPhone or Android, we also do smartwatches and tablets. If you still have those, don't hesitate to call Sydney CBD Repair Center. You can leave a message for us in our Facebook and website. And I hope you enjoyed this repair, guys. Till next time, cheers!
If you want your smartphone fixed for a very reasonable price, you may contact Sydney CBD Repair Center. We also provide mail-in repair services for customers outside of Australia or Sydney. Just message us so we can arrange the shipping of your device.